So the bounty paid off. We have the names of all the firearms instructors in Texas that decided that Texans do not have the right to bear arms and decided that their pocketbooks are more important than the rights of their fellow Texans. We're going to talk about that. Plus, we're going to talk about a new bill that's in the House that would add 4 justices to the Supreme Court and a new push to remove the filibuster so they can pack the court with anti-gun liberal justices. We'll talk about that and a lot more. So let's go ahead and dig deeper. Hello, people with the interwebs. It is me, John Crump, investigative journalist for AmmoLand.com, where I report on the FBI, ATF, and all the other nasty government organizations that want to violate your constitutional and God-given right to bear arms. I also keep an eye on the industry to make sure they're not trying to screw you over, because big companies sometimes will try to screw you over, unfortunately. I'm also the Virginia director for Gun Owners of America, where I help lobby for your gun rights and your human rights, because gun rights are human rights. We are the only no-compromise gun lobby in D.C., where I'm located right outside of. All right, let's go ahead and jump into today's 2 stories, 2 for 1. First, I put out a bounty last night, $100 for anyone that gives me the name of all 54 instructors in Texas who went against constitutional carry for their own pocketbooks. I have that list, which is linked below. I will be turning on an article for AmmoLand.com with all the names and everything else like that also in it. So look for that. That should be coming out shortly. The first person who sent it to me wants to remain anonymous because he works with one of the people there, and that's how he got the letter and everything, because he actually works for one of these guys. So if you're one of these guys, some of your employees don't really agree with you, or maybe you just wanted the $100. So I went ahead and gave him the $100, and then one of my viewers, Chris Shoemake, also gave me the information. A few hours later, I'm going to hook him up with something, not sure what, but I'm going to figure it out. It's going to be something worth at least $100, if not more, but we'll see. I'll figure it out. All right. So those names are going to be coming out. And one of the things that's really disturbing in the actual letter, which is up on the screen now, you can actually see these guys actually admitted that they're doing it for financial gain, that they're actually going against your constitutional right and your right to bear arms, your God-given right, your right as an American for their own pocketbooks. You know, Ayn Rand, which is our Ayn Rand, however you want to say it, which is a controversial figure, very libertarian. She once said, to paraphrase her, you know, I don't want anybody violating my rights, and I will not violate someone else's rights. And these guys are like, hey, let's violate your rights because I want your money. I want the government to force you to come to me and give me money. So guess what, guys? You're probably going to be more hurt than you are without that. So probably not a good look. The second story I want to talk about, and probably the most important story, is the packing of the courts. Democrats in the House of Representatives have introduced a bill to pack the court with 4 new justices. This bill, I would say, would be dead in the House, but a lot of the Democrats in the House are worried about being primaried, kind of what AOC did in New York to the last guy. So it has a really good chance of passing the House, which is really scary. Then the next stop for it would be the Senate. Right now, it could be filibustered. But if the filibuster gets removed, then we are screwed. Schumer wants to remove the filibuster, and the person standing in his way is Joe Manchin. But there's a lot of pressure on Joe Manchin to remove the filibuster. So we got to keep pressure on Joe Manchin to say, keep your promise to keep the filibuster. Because if the filibuster gets removed, there's going to be 4 new justices on the Supreme Court, which would mean we have no hope for the Second Amendment. It means the Second Amendment is basically dead. And that is a very scary thing, because they would push through all the gun control they want, which would be everything. And we wouldn't have any recourse in the courts, because there'll be a majority of anti-gun people sitting on the highest court in the land. And they'll put people on there that don't believe in the Heller decision, that don't believe in the Second Amendment at all, and want to eliminate it. And that's a very scary thing. So we got to keep pressure on Manchin, flood his inbox with emails, flood his phone with calls. We have to keep pressure on Manchin to keep the filibuster. It is important for our right to bear arms. It's a tipping point, basically. If we lose the filibuster and the court gets packed, then there's only one way to defend the Second Amendment. And I don't really want to go that way. I don't want to be forced into that way. But protecting the Constitution is something that we all have to be willing to do. And I might sound over dramatic by saying that, but it's really not. It's facts. And it's a scary situation. So flood those lines. Let's save the filibuster. Let's save the Second Amendment. And with that said, my name is John Crump. I'm the Virginia Director of Gun Owners of America, writer for AmmoLand.com. Check out my Patreon, patreon.com/John Crump. Check out my live channel where I do a lot of live interviews with a lot of really cool people. And check out everything else, my website, crumpy.com. All right. With that said, I'm out. Peace be with you.